Jones. The bid war for the name has now been closed. With our lead names being Feardeer, all in caps, and Edelgard.
All right,
Take
then.
it away.
Okay, very good. Hi, I'm Grace. I have played Fire Emblem for far too long. That's why I'm here. Yeah, so we're going to be doing the Verdant Deer route. This is Claude's route. Pretty much, there's not much more to say until we get started, so...
Yeah, so first of all, we're going to, as a, I guess a gentleman's code thing, also hi, I'm AeonFrodo. Yeah, so we're gonna name our characters before we start the race, and then once we're both ready to say yes on the character names, we're going to, we're going to start the race. So this has less stakes because we don't have any, because it's not a legitimate run because we start
timing
somewhere
normally,
else.
Yeah, timing normally starts on when you move into these menus. So it's basically just a few 3 seconds or something that we don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll introduce. So I'm Tasmania Jones. I'm the runner on the left. So you may have noticed we've chosen female Byleth, and that saves it saves a fair amount of time in this run choosing female Byleth.
Yes.
We'll reveal why later.
I can go into that a little bit. So, we specifically need female Byleth, not because the two Byleths themselves as units are any different. It's because we can recruit Sylvain for free later. Like, we literally don't have to do anything. We just have to exist as female Byleth. You'll also, somewhere in here, we're going to set a birthday to the 12th
That's
month.
after we start, so yeah.
Yeah. Somewhere in here.
Anyway, can you count us down, or can you count us down? Yeah.
Yeah, I can
both
count
ready?
you down.
Are you ready? Sorry, are you ready, Tasmania?
Ready?
Yeah. You ready? Cool.
Yeah.
Alright,
Alright.
in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh.
Okay, so, as I said, you're going to set your birthday to the 12th month, first day. It's a little bit faster because you don't have to worry about... It's a lot of weird nuance about the calendar. So we're going to pretty much go straight into the prologue. We're going to skip every cutscene. We can just press the plus button to do that. Some of them you then need to menu. Do you want to skip this cutscene? Yes, obviously. We want to go fast.
Stay focused.
The first thing they're going to do once they get into the prologue map is they're going to pretty much immediately go to their options menu. They're going to turn off combat animations, assist animations. They're going to set battle speed to fast. Action skip on, so we don't have to look at enemy phase. That saves a lot of time just by itself. Cutting out animations does also less time. And I think both runners did automatic cursor off. You don't have to do that, but it's a little bit better if you know what you're doing.
I don't. I'm a weird.
You don't?
like that. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's optional. So yeah, in this map, we're literally just sending Byleth to go say hello to the boss. We literally just walk over, and then on player phase, we use the Wrath Strike combat art. We are pretty much going to be funneling Byleth for the entirety of Part 1, so up until Chapter 12. There is a reason for that, aside from the, you have a unit with good stats, that will make things go faster. But we specifically are funneling Byleth and not some other unit. We'll get into that a little bit later. So, we just have some cutscenes at the moment. Very good. So, we have to go explore the monastery now. It's required. We can't skip this. So we just have to go talk to all the house leaders, and then we can just immediately go back to Raya, which then completes the quest, and then
I just once.
we're
May
done
I
with
ask
that
a
part.
favor of
Then we
you?
get to go into the monastery again for a different day. And we're literally just going to do the bare minimum. We're going to go run around, make sure some things are unlocked.
I'm about to
Fun stuff like
encounter
that.
a door boss, by the way.
I hope you've had a
Oh, yeah.
Before the run starts, we basically load up the monastery. So that's why you may have saw Tasmania Jones like do a meme. Probably know what the meme is, those Fire Emblem fans. And yeah, that's why we're out in.
I hear you're
That's why we
I
load in the
appreciate
monastery
it.
first, and that's why the first week the monastery, so that we don't get blocked by that door.
How are you?
Yeah, door loading in this game is certainly something. Is the best way I can put it. General monastery movement, runners will put the camera over their heads as you're seeing them run around. Like, it just seems a little cramped, but if you know where you're going, it doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure this is to reduce lag,
Yep, exactly.
because this game can be quite laggy. We're going to see similar things in battle where we'll keep our map not completely zoomed out, where practical. There are a few maps where that's relevant, but aside from that, we'll just want our camera to be as close as possible to things so we don't have to deal with as much lag.
A question from Pat, we're playing on normal classic. We chose it because it's the fastest, and we choose classic because
Yeah.
We won't
because we've got reasons for that. That
Yeah,
you'll see in chapter 2.
There is actually relevant reasons for that. So, with casual mode, you get your units back after the chapter, even if they do die. That's very inconvenient for our purposes, shall we say?
Speaking of
And you don't.
inconvenient,
Since we're funneling Byleth anyway, like, if Byleth dies, we have to restart or use the Divine Pulse. Get into that when we get it. But like, so that's not really an issue in that regard. We're not using other units, so we don't.
It is an issue in this
Well-
map though. So this first map here, we
Yeah.
don't have any Divine Pulse. So
Yeah,
have
we don't
fun.
have to. Yeah, this chapter is just a good reset point, just because
Stay focused.
some things can go wrong,
Yeah.
and it,
luckily the
can
first
go-
thing didn't go wrong for me, but
You must
okay.
So
Ready and willing.
we need like
Like
50 to
you
gain
know
point of
it.
magic in this map.
let's
Yeah.
get to it.
we need that point of magic for chapter 5? Yeah, that's the one. Because this gives Lysithea a warp range of 3, which is required to do that strat well and well at all. So this is the first map. This is the training battle. If your units die in this chapter, they don't die for good, even though we're playing on Classic. We might use that fact.
I got my magic point.
Very good, very good. You'll also notice that in some of these maps,
Oh.
particularly this one,
How dare you? Oh wow, that's I might be heading for an early reset here. Yeah. Wow.
beautiful. Oof.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for me. So what happened was Hilda missed Dimitri twice.
Oh, yep, that'd do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hilda is basically our Dimitri control. We want to then use Lysithea to finish off Dimitri, if we can.
Yeah.
And that can snowball. Like, you can probably back it up, but it's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Stay focused.
Yeah, so that's why this chapter's a huge reset.
Oh, I
for
got
me.
my point of magic, that's good.
I'm not.
Yeah, so Lysithea gets 2, I think there's a chance for 3 if you're desperate by having her finish off Edelgard. But you only need 1 point, you get at least 2 shots at it, and it's a 65% chance.
Not sure I think I
It's-
missed Hanneman, so...
Ooh.
How did that happen? Wow.
Leonie is...
I never heard of that
Okay.
happening before.
So despite it probably being this is probably a good time to talk about hit rates.
Yes.
This would be a great time. So this game uses the 2 random number system that a lot of Fire Emblems have used since Fire Emblem 7. Basically, it generates 2 random numbers, takes the average of them, and then goes, okay, is this number bigger? Oh, if it's bigger or smaller, it's one of the two. To the displayed number. If it is, your attack hits. Basically, what that does functionally is hit rates above 50% are a bit more towards the 100%. So, like, for example, like 78 displayed hit is about 91% true hit. And it works the other way. So if you're under 50, you're going to skew more towards missing. In this map in particular, like, most of your hit rates are 80 to 90%.
It's your call.
I think Hilda might be like high 70s.
Hilda's like 80-ish.
80-ish, yeah. So like, you've got a pretty good hit, like true hit rate. Like, you're probably about 95% on pretty much every attack. And like, you can afford to miss like 1 or 2, but missing more than that can snowball out of your control.
I had to reset this map because I forgot to get the... I was just like... I just went like... Oh jeez, my mind. Wow. Yeah, because Lucifia didn't get any magic. I was just like, wait a minute.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing about Chapter 1 is you also have to get that magic level.
Yeah, I have to.
Which you were still favoured to do overall. Like,
yeah, she has a 60% magic growth, by the way, so she should get it.
Yeah. Yeah, missing that twice, or if you...
Well, for my case, getting like unlucky twice is just really bad.
Yeah, it's like 16%. Quick math. So, possible, but yeah, that's generally why you reset this map.
Yep.
That's my first lecture question. So every week, every month, start of every month, student asks the lecture question. We always want to get the lecture question wrong because if you get it right, it wastes a bit of time.
Yeah.
And you also get more professor experience from it as well. And you don't want that.
Yeah, and it just makes more fanfares if you get too much, and we don't actually need professor level for anything. So in terms of what we're trying to get our students to do with goals and all their, lessons stuff, we'll get more into that in a little bit. But first, we've got to deal with the Byleth solo map, aka we're going to get Byleth a bit strong. We bought a whole bunch of things for her as well. We get, oh boy.
Steel swords, steel gauntlets, and a shield.
Yeah. We pretty much at this point, we're trying to get Byleth to level 15 as soon as possible. So this is why we're funneling her exclusively. And the enemies on this practice map are not very strong.
Wow, Leonie actually crit Hanneman, that's really funny.
Ooh,
So
okay.
every time we get a level up, we have a chance to gain stats depending on the student or character and our class. So
Stay focused.
things we want to see on Byleth, who's our main unit, are we want strength, speed, and strength is most important.
Yeah.
Speed is very useful.
Speed is good to have. And then you've got other things like dexterity, luck, defense.
Okay,
that
yeah.
that are all
it's level
fine.
10, but that's...
Alright, I'm finally out of the first map. Thank goodness. Or second map.
You are
Yeah,
Okay, miss level 10.
I can deal with it, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably fine. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Fine,
got
I just
that
have to
route,
watch
don't
my
you?
experience carefully.
Tasmania. Well, we can show off both routes, I guess. That'll be cool.
No, I can do something similar. but
Okay.
I just have to be more careful with my experience.
Right.
Yeah, because I crit the boss. That's
yep,
not too
that'd
good.
do it.
Yeah.
So, I'm not personally too sure about experience mechanics, but basically, critting bosses so that you hit them less means you get less experience overall. It's kind of weird and a bit wonky,
Oh my
but...
god. Sorry, Geralt's just really hard to talk to sometimes.
Oh yeah.
I have a request.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm coming up to our main chapter 2 battle, so this is the reason why we chose classic mode.
Yep.
So...
Great to see a lot of murder.
Yeah. So, you know all those other units we have?
Thanks for your
We literally care about... So, we're going to deploy everyone except Lysithia, because we're forced to deploy Byleth and Claude. We're going to get everyone except for Claude and Byleth killed, because they're not important. Sorry, not sorry. And basically, we're just going to go around and let Byleth have a good time. We still need enemies to come through to our other units, so like, what you do in this map is a bit time-gated, so you've got plenty of time to potentially do some things to back up an experience route or something. So, yeah. This is also where we get to use gauntlets. So gauntlets are very good at punching things. Well, that seems obvious, but we're going to punch a lot of things. The thing about gauntlets in this game is that they have low base might, so overall you're going to be relying on your character's strength stat the most when you're dealing damage with these. Okay, fair enough. We've got Byleth, whose strength stat is pretty good. But the other thing that the gauntlets do is when you attack with them on player phase, you get to strike twice before your opponent. That's... It's relevant, but you can functionally quad attack things if you're both fast enough and you're doing it on player phase. We just
down except Claude.
Yep. Cool.
And Lysithia, who we left, who we didn't deploy.
Yeah, we explicitly, like, because enemies would go after Lysithia on this map because she has such a low base defense and they're all physical units. We don't want that to happen. So, yeah, there's that map. We use a bow just so that we can pick off the 2 range units at the end there. Bows are also useful because you can just equip them. Like, this is the thing about any weapon in this game is anyone can wield them with some exceptions. Magic units can't use gauntlets and physical units, with a few exceptions, can't use magic. But not super relevant to what we do in this speedrun. Okay.
So first thing I'm going to do is certify for Thief, so I get 1 extra point of movement, and also I can go through forest trails without getting movement penalized, which will be important for later on.
Very important. It's...
Yeah.
You also get a few extra stat points, like, I think you get like 2 speed on promoting or something like that.
Yeah, and also I'm getting a very important battalion, so...
Yeah, so...
Coins can be attached to units, and they give you additional skills that you can use during battle, so...
Yeah, they are probably one of the most broken things in this game, which is good, because we like broken things for speedruns, because it lets us go fast. So we just talked to Eureka, we run over, we get battalions.
I got a battalion that has the ability Stride on it, which you won't see just yet, but you'll see it later on. This is what allows us to do most of our strategies.
Correct. Yeah, so Stride is a gambit that you use on your allied units. They give them... It gives allies in a 2x2 kind of square. +5 move for a turn. We're going to use that very well. Don't you worry about that.
Also, I just did another seminar with Manuela. So I did one in Chapter 2, but I also did another one in Chapter 3, so Lysithia gets some Faith experience. We want to hit B Faith rank by Chapter 5, so she learns an important spell for that map.
The other reason we also do that is because of the Monday mission glitch, because you miss out on the experience of the previous week if the mission date's on a Monday. It's kind of weird that such a big
yeah,
exists in the game, but then
that's yeah. So we just have to work around it. It just happens to work out nicely. So Be Faithful Isifia will give us Warp for Chapter 5, which is very important, as I've already gone over. In terms of other units and their goals, at the moment we're trying to get Claude eventually to D riding. Yep, cool. Which gives us dexterity +4. Claude's hit rates need a little bit of help. Like, we don't technically need it, but it's very nice to have for consistency because, spoilers, we're going to be using Claude later. More on that in part 2. Because,
no one is dead on my end yet.
That's very unfortunate.
Oh, there we go. They're starting to die now. Good.
Very good, very good.
Okay,
That's what you like to see. Alright, fog map. Fog map, so we have to dispel the fog. The boss literally does...
level there.
Very good. So, with the fog map, Leonardo does not exist until you remove the fog. So, we have to go punch the mage in the middle of the map. We just do certain movements to get around enemies, lure the mage off of a forest, because otherwise our hit rate would be not very good. Then we just go teach Leonardo a lesson by just hitting him with a bow. He has a javelin equipped, so we're just going to double him back because we're faster than him.
I'm a little short on experience.
Yeah, so
I'm in the good
we
spot.
So by the end of this chapter, you should have... Byleth needs to be level 13 with about 21 experience or less left. Sounds like Tasmania didn't quite get that, so there is a backup. We just have to wait for reinforcements on the next major map. And that's
I have a favor to ask.
just because we have to spend an extra turn taking out an enemy on our way to killing the boss of the next map. If your experience is good, you can skip one of those enemies and you can finish the map before the reinforcements spawn. Alright, so on this map, we are gonna do... So, preps, we don't need to do prep at the moment because everything is where it should be, basically. So, the way that we set up... This is part of the reason why all our characters died in Chapter 1. Not Chapter 1.
2.
Chapter 2, that one. I know my maps. I've played this game, promise. This puts Claude and Lysethia in good spots on the preparations, on the starting locations. This is going to continue to be relevant further down the track because particular slots always are occupied by what units are in that slot, and since there are less characters in that list, you just get better positions.
So kill an extra enemy there to get enough experience. So this is where we're going to see our first use of Stride.
Mm-hmm.
And that allows us to pass that scary enemy in the center. So that's it's a Death Knight, which you'll see later several times.
Death Knight again. We cannot fight him right now. I mean, we can. It's just an incredibly bad idea to the point where no. Just no.
I'm at
Let's see if
15
we can murder
now.
him, but we don't have the tools.
Yeah, we just don't have the tools.
And this chapter we get a sword. We get our special weapon, the Sword of the Creator. That's a 1-to-2 range weapon.
Yeah. If you've ever played a Fire Emblem game before, if you have a good 1-2 range weapon, it's very good for speedrunning. It's generally very good as well.
I mean, initially it's not. It's only.
It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
It's
Later
really
on.
heavy,
what it
which is
needs
a
to
big
be.
drawback.
Yeah, so you don't get to double a lot of things, but we have combat arts for that, to make up for that. it has a special one that does lots of damage, but that's more of an option play because it takes up more durability, but that's still not awful because the baked-in mechanic with the Sword of the Creator is if you rest for a day, or in this case, skip a free time day, spoilers, we've been doing that all over the place, you get for... Is it 3 or 5 uses? I don't remember.
5 uses.
It's
Yeah, this is why we need to be level 15. So, firstly, unfortunately, there is a mandatory quest that we have to do. Otherwise, we can't get out of the monastery.
Yeah, we have to go find... Well, we have to go find where Flame might be.
No, it's Gerald. We have to find Gerald in chapter 5.
Oh, that's right. That's... Yeah.
Flame's next month.
Right.
And we need to be level 15 so we can recruit a unit that's quite overpowered early on. So
yeah, so we get Catherine. You need to be level 15 to recruit her, and it's only on blue lines in Verdant Wind, but that's fine. We're playing on those.
Just Verdant Wind.
It's blue lines as well, I think. Anyway, we get to recruit Catherine. That's the long and the short of it. Basically, she comes with pretty good stats, and she comes with another hero's relic, like the Sword of the Creator, Thunderbrand. So Thunderbrand is like a sword with the Gauntlets effect. If you attack on player phase, you get to attack twice. That's very good, and is going to be one of our ways to force through damage if we need it. We're going to need it for the boss of the next chapter.
Ready and willing.
Well, this chapter, chapter 5. Next, this one, yeah. Well, both.
So I just had, Cord learned Dex +4, so that's 4 extra hit and 2% extra crit, and also Lysithea learned Warp, which you're going to see in action on the next map. And since that's all the important skills we need, so we just set Cord to Bow, and Lysithea to Authority. That'll allow her to get those advanced battalions for later. And Catherine to Flying, since that means she learns the fewest skills that way.
Yeah, like, Catherine we use for a few chapters for combat, but eventually we do just give Thunderbrand over to Byleth. Like, if you have a crest, you can use any hero's relic without taking damage. It doesn't have to be the one specifically for you.
Yeah. So I just skipped the entire map using Warp.
Yeah, normally you have to go all the way around, but since we used Warp and Stride, we can have Catherine run up to the first phase boss. Yes, there's a second. And so the fact that we stride also in a particular way, since all our units get refreshed for our second turn 2 player phase. So we can actually move Catherine and Byleth up to the boss without having to deal with any of these other enemies. This demonic beast has some tendencies, as I very quickly learned how it can park itself in a corner. That was fun.
Yeah, just basically, you got very unlucky and Catherine got hurt, so yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of things have to go wrong for this boss kill to not work, but you spend the first turn breaking its first health bar, and then you just spend the second turn finishing it off.
Ah, Professor,
as it turns out, Thunderbrand is very good at damage.
I have something to ask
Who knew?
Yeah.
The problem with Thunderbrand, though, is that its accuracy can be, like, more than desired.
Yeah, but you attack 4 times, so, like, you still have to get pretty unlucky, but it can happen.
And at least we got multiple units to fight the monsters. In other, if we chose Blue Lions or Black Eagles, would have to do the boss solo, and doing a monster solo is a bit iffy.
Yeah, mostly because breaking barriers as a solo unit is a tedious process.
So, good thing is I got a point of strength on Catherine in chapter 5, so I don't need to have the results back up for this chapter.
Yeah.
So this chapter, Flame gets kidnapped and we need to rescue her, so normally in a casual playthrough you'd explore the monastery, but we just skipped to the end of day since we've already got Catherine and Lysithia.
Yeah, we
With what?
the game's going to force us to go into the mission anyway. We don't have to go find her. So,
She's fine.
this is another chapter where we just used war. And as Tasmania was saying, if we get a strength point on Catherine, we don't have to rely on a crit to kill the Death Knight. Hey, he's back. Except we could do the alternate win condition on this map, which is route everything except the Death Knight, but that's slow. Because this map has a bunch of teleporters, and there's enemies everywhere, and no. I'm good. I think we're good. So we just go warp Catherine over, and we try to one-shot the Death Knight. Very good. If you do fail, we get to do some random number manipulation using the Divine Pulse.
So, Divine Pulse, we'll explain that now. So
yeah,
every time, starting from the chapter 2 main battle, you have three chances to rewind back to a previous point in the battle.
Yeah, and so if you then immediately do what you just did, you're going to get the same result, because nothing's actually changed. But what we can do is we can use a different unit to take some action. It has to actually do something to change random numbers, so usually attacking something is a pretty good way to go. There's a bit of nuance to it, like does the unit double? Do you have a different unit that doesn't double if you need to like back up the backup? But basically, you can fudge around a little bit. If you can't get the desired result, usually a reset is probably fine, but it's not something you want to do. Because that's slow. You have to reload the map, and it adds up. So that's why we don't do like hugely risky strats if we can avoid it.
I finished chapter 6, so I've got so Flane is Sadith's sister apparently. And she automatically joins after you rescue her.
Yeah, she's quite useful for. She's a healer, so we get it.
Useful.
Yeah, we don't want to take damage, but in some maps it's a little bit unavoidable. But also at the same time, we're not super attached to her. So, like, if she does die after a certain point, we just kind of go, yeah, we're good.
Okay, so there's a few different ways. This map, I'm going to just do my inventory. So we're going to give Flane a bow and get rid of.
Hello?
Hello?
Cool, my A button did not register for some reason.
Oh.
Okay, so this is I'm at the Chapter 7 battle, which is a 3-way battle where you have to defeat everyone on the map.
Well, we can let them infight a little bit. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so this map, you're going to start out by sending Byleth and Flame pretty much into the center. We use Stride turn 1 because that gets Byleth to the forest. You have the option to move Flame over to the bridge. We're going to move Flame towards Byleth next turn to take advantage of Flame's passive effect.
I've got 24 strength already.
Ooh, I like different things.
Then, oh, never mind. I'll work around that.
Yeah, having like high strength during that fight is really helpful. I do not have high strength though. Pretty sure I have like 19 and 20, so...
Yeah, that's...
So, it's okay. I can deal with it.
Yeah, you'll be okay, but it's a lot... Because when you're not killing units as effectively, you don't... they get more attacks at you, and you have to spend more time killing them, and it's kind of awkward. And we also kind of want more strength for a later chapter. 24, yeah?
24 for chapter 8, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so chapter 7 in general is pretty much like you're gonna do like your opening's gonna be fairly similar. You want to get Bernadetta off of the ballista, and then you kind of have to improvise. You have to like if you want to go like really fast, you have to rely on enemy gambits hitting the other enemies, and it's a little bit weird, but you can usually work around it. It just takes a little bit more time. But like you in this chapter in particular is definitely improv heavy.
Oh geez, yeah, that's a really bad spot. I'm just looking at that. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, Ingrid is still going, which is the unit that they need to hit with the gambit. Otherwise, you're gonna just have to deal with like all of the blue lions. And
Yeah, I got a bit unlucky there, so...
yeah, you can still do it, like, and particularly if you've got a higher strength stat, like Jujui becomes less of an issue.
Yeah, I got high strength, so getting Juju's armored grip was not too bad actually.
You're not happy to see it, but like, you'll take it.
Excuse me, game?
Oh boy.
No,
What's going on
that's
now?
just my controller being silly.
Yeah. So even though I got Juju's army, which I don't want to get, I had a fairly high strength stat, so I was okay. If you've got a low strength stat, you're in lots of trouble if you get Juju's armored army.
Oh, yeah, we'll be able to see my version right now, see how I go.
Yeah, so hopefully Aeon doesn't have the issue where she doesn't get Ingrid.
Yeah, I didn't get Ingrid either. That's fine though. I can deal with that.
Okay.
I got high dex, so that helps.
Okay, yeah, good hit rate. So you may have also noticed in this map that Flame definitely died, and will almost certainly die again. We just want her next to Byleth early on for
Petra
safety.
might be able to take out. Sorry, Petra might be able to take out.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Okay.
So this is why we're
Careful now.
coming up to chapter 8, where you go back to your original, your hometown of Bromaya Village, or where, at least where you're brought up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, someone's there's people
made all the people
on fire.
Yep, the village is on fire. The people are like
They're angry.
angry is a word. Yeah, that magic nonsense story plot stuff. This is where high strength. This is where high strength is useful because we get to remove a knight during turn
2.
That's
two?
oh
Yeah.
my god! Wow, I'm getting really unlucky here. I missed
Ooh.
2 battalions. That's fine.
So,
Oh.
if you're wondering why I gave Flame the Iron Bow in Chapter 7, you're going to see why in this map.
Yeah, so in Chapter 7, your unit deaths are also not permanent, since it's also a practice battle. So, Flame can die in that map, it's fine. We're still not, like, super attached to her, but we do need Flame for this cheeky little, strategy.
I almost got 24 strength, but I don't think I'm gonna get it.
Okay, so your strength stat came back.
Yeah, it came back, which is nice.
15.
So, a thing to note if you're doing, like, improvising stuff, like, where you can afford to use the Sword of the Creator, if it's good, because
Bye, Flame.
you gotta, yeah, bye, Flame. But yeah, since the Sword of the Creator gets to functionally repair itself for free, you can use it. It's something to keep in mind. But yeah, so then we just get Byleth to remove an armor, and then yeah, we just go ruin a boss because we need to use Sword of the Creator on the boss, and the boss is he's moderately tanky, but it's the knight we care about.
So next month is the ball month. So we get to
Dance
what we're going to
competition.
do is choose our dancer. So
Yeah.
this is why we picked female Violet.
Yeah, this is why we picked female Byleth. You'll remember that we get to recruit Sylvain for free. Sylvain will successfully become your dancer without any other input, so that's pretty convenient. He also comes at like level 17 with enough charm, which is the thing that you need. So we have a dancer. We get to stride our dancer and then warp our units, and oh, that's going to sound very familiar in a moment. Dancers are very good in even in normal Fire Emblem gameplay. They let a unit who's already acted act again. So we can move someone like Byleth very far. You can have the dancer chase after them. We can then dance Byleth, who can then move even further. Yeah, we get to go places. It's very cool.
We're going to get us our dancer.
Ready and willing.
Thank you. Stay
Oh boy.
focused.
Can't wait.
Got Dimitri!
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. So Dorothy is always the Black Eagles representative. Blue Lions, it's random. And
Oh, yeah.
so they have 3 votes. So Sylvain will get 2 of them, and the last one's random. Who do we get? So,
Alright, Flame didn't die, so I need to attack with.
Am I not?
okay, so Sylvain got all 3 votes. Sometimes one of the other competitors can get another vote. So
24 strength now.
let's do the menu
Too
link.
late.
So
Cool. It's like, that's not useful now.
Oh,
Well,
it is.
It's still useful. It's still useful.
There's
we'll get to
there's 3 more people we have to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, technically
firstly-
2, but you'll see why.
we don't auto reach class into dancer, so I'll just do that now on Sylvain.
Yeah, that's a weird thing that they did.
And I'm also going to sell my tea leaves because tea parties can cost you.
It's mainly the
also
tea
unnecessary.
menu that costs you time. We don't go to tea parties.
Yeah, it's just like, it doesn't take that much time to sell them, so it saves time.
Also, to explain why we have Barth's birthday on the 12th of December, it also matches up with Eloise's birthday. So, yeah, we already stop on that date, so yeah, might as well.
So it saves like probably like half a second to a second at most, but hey, it's free time save, and it doesn't take that long to input on the starting menus, so...
I literally forgot how to go to Raya.
Okay, so this battle we just have to defeat 4 monsters in this battle. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just 4. Yeah.
They're tough,
No,
though.
yeah, so
Hey,
this
Professor,
map
I've been
is-
thinking. Well, I'll be
there's some weird
Go, Professor.
movement, shall we say. I mean, we need to split Catherine and Byleth because there are only units that do appreciable damage. Geralt can help, but you can't control him.
Yeah, Geralt can save, like, he can save you a turn if he gets you, if he lands a crit, and the
The
boss is on.
28-16.
Alright, let's see who I get, because I'm just in the dance competition right now.
But yeah, so
I got
we actually
Ingrid.
move Ingrid. Okay, okay, that's not who I would pick. Blue Lions, but that's okay. So we actually moved Lysithea in front of Byleth and Sylvain in Chapter 9 because it does some weird things to the monster AI. I don't personally fully understand, but
She
they
got
just
vote!
don't. Wow.
Yeah, so your father just died at the end of chapter 9. Spoilers.
Rest in pepperoni.
Oh, what's really funny about that map is he's not allowed to die beforehand, which is really
Correct.
funny. Considering
Correct.
he's gonna die.
Well, if he's already, yeah, they don't want to deal with that, but it's fine. But yeah, as I was saying about Lysithia, we move her in front. The demonic beasts just kind of move forward and they don't really attack you. It's very weird, but hey, it works, so we use it.
Okay, so I've got a very high strength score and also good enough magic, so I'm going to be able to go. Oh, there's a strategy that saves quite a bit of time on chapter 10 that I can go for, but it's about a coin flip of working.
Yeah, so you've got two potential strategies for the Sealed Forest. This is mostly to deal with Kronya, who is absurdly fast and will probably kill you at one range, so we don't want to do that.
She's also like the hardest boss in part
Ready and
1.
willing.
Correct.
That helps.
There's the second boss on this map, and you literally walk up to him and slap him with a sword
Stay
twice and he
focused.
dies. Is it possible to one-shot him if your strength's high enough? I don't remember. You probably need like astronomical strength, but he's not an issue. Solon Part 2 is even less of an issue. But yeah, Kronya is
That's
also
the boss
very
coming.
dodgy.
So
We must
I'm just
gonna
short.
set
Yeah,
up our stride
fine.
and get our.
I'll do the safe strat.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Unless I feel like going for a crit. And...
That's also not safe.
yeah.
So yeah, Kronya is
Okay,
generally
I got
very
the 50%.
Very nice. Yeah, so
Do you mind?
Kronya is very dodgy. In the sense that she will dodge a lot of attacks because she's so fast.
We still have our stride up, so we can just
Yeah.
get dance
It's-
and then warp Violet up the cliff, and then we're done with the map.
Yeah, it's a similar thing to the Chapter 5 where we get a second player phase functionally, and so we can just move again, and our stride's still up. So yeah, we literally just go throw some strong combat art or use Thunderbrand on Kronya. It's not good. the rate...
Erupted, yeah, after you saw the creator's combat art, and it has, on this road, it has 50% accuracy roughly at 2 range.
you only have to hit it? Or...
I only need 1 hit if I've got enough strength, but yeah, I have 3 chances to land it, but if I get on turn 2 and 3, it costs me time because I have to set up stride again.
Yeah. The safest strat is to...
I'm gonna show
just-
it off anyway. So
Yeah.
You'll see on my
You're...
end.
So, we're gonna... So, instead of just going for a combat art, we're gonna Gambit Kronya instead. Since Gambit hit rate isn't tied to character speed, and it's actually something to do with charm differentials, there's a lot of math going on here, but it's a lot more consistent because you have much greater hit rates.
Yeah, I'll have like 90% hit rate, so it would be very unlikely for me to.
Yeah, it's like that's 98% true hit or something to that effect. Good luck missing that.
Oh, I've missed it before. Don't worry.
Oh, look, I've missed a double 96 in my time. That was fun.
Come back.
96 displayed, which is like
Ready and willing.
99.9%
You're a big help.
Stay
or
focused.
something. Like,
Nothing ridiculous like that.
I'm
yeah.
on it.
So this Fire Emblem games don't care.
Okay, cool. I hit her.
Cool. Yeah, we literally hit it with a gambit once, and then we just follow up the next turn. It does mean we have to set up a second stride, but it's much more
I'm
consistent.
getting my stats now. What a time.
Yeah, we have 2 maps of Byleth stats really mattering. Like, they're still kind of important for part 2, but Byleth takes the back seat. So chapter 11, which Tasmania Jones is on, we swapped the Stride Battalion over to Catherine because we're not going to be using Catherine for combat anymore. The only reason we do that is because Catherine has 5 move instead of Claude's 4 move.
Cool. Alright, here's got Noble.
Very good, very good. So getting Noble completed on Lysithea gives you HP plus 5, which can be relevant for durability in part 2.
It's
We'll
more
get into
likely
that
relevant than not because her HP growth is pretty low.
Yeah.
Hey, shock horror, the Flame Emperor is Edelgard.
Oh, but I thought you were Edelgard.
I'm
What was it?
Edelgard, yeah.
You're Edelgard, sorry. my brain is... Yep. I know how to read sides.
Okay, so coming up to chapter 12, Sedith is a unit who normally would join you if you're doing, say, anything that resembles a normal run. Unfortunately, we killed Flame off in chapter 8, so no
Whoops.
Sedith for us. That's actually good, since we don't need him anyway.
So, there was a bit of a
Oh,
reroute.
what the?
A few...
How did I hit the home button?
Impressive. So, there was a little reroute a few months ago. The route used to use Sedith as your authority user for the higher level gambits, because he comes with, I think he comes with a authority, so he's just like, here, you can do everything that we need to. We don't actually need that anymore, because we actually routed in, like, way back in, like, chapter 5 or 6, when we put Lysithea onto just authority. That's the reason. Because Lysithea will hit a authority before we actually need that particular battalion.
Yeah, she'll hit
So-
A plus before even we get that, so plenty of time.
Oh, jeez, is that? Yeah,
So-
you're well good.
So this is the last map of part 1, and for this, at least this route, and at least Blue Lions, and also Black Eagles, if you don't side with Edelgard,
Yeah.
it's a fairly
Silver Toe-
straightforward map.
Yeah, this is basically
Defeat
go beat up the boss, except you have to go do some things. Also, very good battle music. Rate it 10 out of 10. Thank you.
You won't hear it until you get to my end, though.
That's fine. I've been listening to it the entire time.
I'm on it.
Just
Anyway.
another stride dance combo.
Yeah, Stride Dance
Leave it to me.
is
And I've got-
very good.
I've got more than enough strength for this. That's 30... 31.
Yeah, that's enough.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
I'm grateful.
You only need 27?
27.
Yeah, so I think you're good.
This might
You need
be my
27,
limit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we specifically clear out one of the enemies and then attack Edelgard at 2 range.
I
with the
don't know
sword
how I
of the
even
Creator.
got to this spot behind it, Flame Emperor. Sorry, I mean Edelgard, or maybe just Flame Emperor because I'm Edelgard. But yeah.
I mean, you can attack from there. That's fine.
So you may have noticed we've left Claude at level 1.
Yeah. So
One of the mechanics of normal mode is that everyone who's not level 20 will get leveled up to level 20, and Grace, can you go explain some other things as well?
Oh god. Auto leveling is certainly an experience. So I have mentioned before that we are going to be using Claude in part 2. It's like, well, why weren't we leveling him? Well, this is why. We're literally getting 18, 19, that's 18 levels, I think, for free. The way that the mechanics work is, I'm pretty sure what it does is it sets, so it will class Claude to his part 2 class. All classes have particular base stats. So that's like your minimum floor. And then it's just like, okay, with those class growths on top of Claude's actual growths, lots of math, simulate 18 levels. So on average, Claude should come out at about
So,
27, 28 strength?
28 strength is
28 strength.
26. It's not
that's
not
good.
ideal, but I can...
Yeah, 26 is a little low, but you'll be okay.
I still have energy drop, so
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got an energy drop. I think that
Chapter
was
9.
from
For the monster map.
Chapter
Yeah.
10, when Dad died.
Yeah, we got that. Energy drop just gives you +2 strength, so we pretty much just throw that on Claude if Byleth doesn't desperately need it, because Claude is our main combat
Stay
unit for the
focused.
Part 2 maps.
That was some
Oh,
work,
beautiful.
though.
Love to hear it. But yeah, so
Report.
the reason, so
I'm on it.
did you
press
guys
them
do
all.
safety saves, or planning to do a safety save after the Chapter 12 clear?
I'm grateful.
Just for Claude stats?
Didn't.
You didn't? Ooh. So you can make a second save in a different slot, if
Or
if
just
you're,
not save at all.
or that, because you can functionally just re-roll Claude's auto levels if they're like really bad. Usually it's not a problem. Like things have to go quite badly for that.
You have to be extremely unlucky. Like, one time I got 22 strength on Claude, so that was something.
Oh. Yeah, 22 strength would. I think that's actually unusable.
Yeah, that is run ending.
Yeah, so it's very unlikely. It can happen, and that's just how Fire Emblem works, because it doesn't care about your feelings. So the questions that people ask in Part 2 are different to the questions in Part 1. So Catherine's worst answer is the
Top.
answer,
And everyone else is bottom.
Yeah, because we killed off everyone else. We literally don't have anyone else, which does make that a little bit easier because there's less things you have to react to.
Oh, that's...
It's like, is it Catherine?
Ugh, that's very low HP. I just saw
Oh, really?
his hand.
Ooh,
What's my
okay.
strategy?
At the ready.
Claude doesn't need to live. It's fine. No, Claude does need to live, but you...
So I just did some rearrangements, so we only need the Sublime Creator Sword and Thunderbrand on the Hero Relics on Violet. We're going to buy a bunch of bows for Claude, and we also gave Sylvain a training sword,
I got
which we'll
29
be using
strength. I got
later on.
better.
Ooh, okay, 29 strength's good. Ooh,
Yeah.
we
I don't have
can
to worry
see-
about low ups.
We can...
So the energy drop.
Oh, yeah. So...
I'll have enough
yeah.
strength
Yeah.
More.
just by default.
But yeah, that training sword is... Like, that seems so random. It's like, why would you give Sylvain a training sword? Like, he's obviously not going to use it. He's not a combat unit. He's a dancer. We'll get to that when the chapter comes. It's very good. But yeah, so we buy 2 silver bows and a brave bow.
So here I need to defend the red squares, otherwise you game over.
We can just park Claude on the center square, and all the enemies are just going to come to him anyway. This is also good because it gives Claude levels, and we need some strength on Claude, as it turns out. Just a few. The other
So-
side effect is his battalion also gets levels. You typically will end at about level 3 battalion. That's...
So my goal here is to get that green unit to that highlighted square.
Yeah, we're gonna set the entire map on fire. Don't you worry about it. It's fine.
I forgot to... I need to kill that guy.
Also, we stride the green unit so we can move Byleth farther, not because the green unit needs more movement. It's a very cute thing, because they're allies. You can do it.
HP as well.
Oh boy. I love when my squishy mage has even less defensive capability.
Might burn the extra turn here.
Yeah, better to be safe than sorry. Yeah, the entire map is on fire.
I need
which-
31 strength on Claude. I need one more. Or to get Battalion level 4.
Yeah, so either of those will give Claude an extra point of physical attack, which is
35.
pretty much hard required for the next boss, because that boss is so tanky, it's not funny. The main reason that we literally set the map on fire is it slows down all the enemies, and ideally we wouldn't have
It
to
changes
go...
the objective. That's why we set the map on fire. Oh,
Yeah.
I bought the.
They also...
Okay, I got my Battalion level, so...
I bought the
Okay,
silver shield
cool.
for wrong person.
Thanks a bunch.
Yeah, it's fine, you just gotta remember who has it.
That's fine, I can just send Claude all the way back.
Yeah, so it slows down the enemies so you see less combat, but it also has the changing the objective when Byleth gets into range of the boss. So then the boss moves.
Chapter ready.
Or more accurately, the boss moves once you get in his range. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. I know. I've literally done this.
So normally you want to finish on turn 6, but I needed that either the extra strength point or
Yeah,
Battalion level on Claude,
you
otherwise I was...
I'm gonna
desperately
save a
need
bit of
that.
time over Tasmania Drains because
You
my Claude already
have-
has that, so that's really nice. My Claude already has 32 strength, so I can actually do this strat the normal way.
Oh boy, more strength! Just what we need.
So, actually, if my 50th stats are also going to be important for part 2.
Yeah,
I'm grateful.
not just Claude's.
Yeah. Because, like, Scythia still has Warp and her...
She's
A rank.
relevant.
Yeah,
Well, she
she's
needs to use
relevant.
the Battalion. Up
Yeah,
to...
it's mostly the battalion. I don't think we actually use Warp here, but it is still there. You never know.
Well, we still used Warp a couple of times, but yeah, it's mainly because we need that Battalion.
Yeah, so the particular battalion is...
We'll talk about when we get there.
Yeah. But this is why we need A rank. It's very good. You might even say it's kind of busted, like basically every battalion. Whoops.
The weak.
So yeah, at this point we don't need to explore the monastery. We're literally just skipping to maps and clearing maps, which is very nice.
This map went pretty well for me, apart from having to heal
Oh.
Claude once. So yeah.
Oh, look, you're not going to be too upset with just healing Claude once.
I
Like,
know, but it's just like I haven't gotten a good gold split where Claude doesn't need to be healed, so it's just like
yeah, it's like you still need a bit of luck to not get hit that much.
Okay.
it's just a time
Okay.
save so that you don't get. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So,
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, this map we just need to get Claude to the boss again.
yeah.
We need 30...
except,
Yeah.
except there's a small issue, and that's one. There's a whole bunch of enemies, and the boss is quite far away. So we're gonna stride and dance Claude. We're literally gonna send Sylvain into the middle of enemies. We still need Sylvain, so Claude has to one round the boss. You need 31 strength or battalion level 4 with 30 strength, other combinations, to 4-hit Gwendol with a brave bow.
You have to hit all 4 of them, or get...
And you have to hit all 4 or crit. And the hit rate on each of those shots is about 70 odd. So
It's
can...
it's high 70s, low 80s.
Yeah, high 70s, low 80s. Yeah, if you miss that, you have to do a bit of finagling. You use Divine Pulse to fix your random numbers, and if that doesn't work, then
Then you can always use the Hero's Relic for Eleanor, but we want to really conserve use of the start.
yes, yeah, we desperately need that for endgame. So we would rather not do that. To note, a Brave Bow it's like the Gauntlets. If you attack with it on player phase, you double attack. So if you have enough speed, and Gwendol is not fast, he's a great knight. They're generally slow.
What's the plan?
You'll quad attack. So we
Chapter ready.
literally do quad 15s or quad
Yeah.
16s?
What's my
'Cause he has
Yeah,
strategy?
60
4 times,
HP.
4 times 15, yeah.
it's just enough if you hit all of them. So like, if you have like 5 more physical attack on Claude, if you're lucky enough, it is possible, but it's kind of unlikely. I don't know, is your Claude good enough, Aeon?
Yes, he's definitely good.
Oh, beautiful. You can free hit, which severely ups the consistency because you can miss one.
Yeah, in my PB, my Claude had 39 strength, so I was pretty good.
That's enough for pretty much the rest of the game, as it turns out.
Not quite.
It's not quite, but it's pretty much.
I'm coming up to the bridge map, so this is a defeat all bosses on the map.
Yeah,
so it's a little
almost
more
there too.
involved. But you have a flyer with both, so...
Yeah, as it turns out, flyers with good ranged options are very good in Fire Emblem speedruns. Who'd have thought? I could rattle them off for you, but this is probably not the time or place.
This is... so... Ferdinand's Bon Eye is one of the bosses on this map. He is now Ferdinand Bon Dire.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, this seems like as good a time as any for me to bring up. We did get a $5 donation from one Ferdinand von Eiger that says, "I am Ferdinand von Eiger."
Yeah. I have a feeling I know who that is, and I would not be surprised. But yeah, so we have to kill Ferdinand von Eiger. We must use his full name. There's no, you're not allowed to do otherwise. And Ladislava. Ladislava's a flyer who I believe doesn't have a bow weakness because of one of her skills. Or her shield
yeah,
item.
my skills is Aegis, so that halves damage.
Yeah, and also can't halve damage from the bow, and also not 100% hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That can also get a bit fiddly because if she gets enough Aegis procs or you miss some, like, she'll live, and that's bad.
Yeah, and also there's a risk of getting hit by Gambit, so they're battalion skills that will stun you for a turn. Fortunately, they have a low hit rate, but fortunately I didn't get hit by any of them.
Enemies, like, we've kind of glossed over this, but enemies can also have battalions and use Gambits against you. This is one of the only maps where that's, like, super relevant. I'm not sure if there's another map where it is super relevant off the top of my head, but if it
next map is...
Okay, great. Perfect.
Because Patrick can use one against you.
Ah, yes. Right. So, you liked Chapter 7? Also, Claude gets a fancy new flying now. It's not super relevant, but hey, he gets it.
With bow there. And also Claude's ability in part 2, so he has the ability pass, so he can just go through.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't care if there's enemies in the way.
Yeah, so Claude... So, this is also part of why we use Claude as our main combat unit, because we literally just get to run through things. It's very cool.
Okay, so we're coming up to Chapter 17, so this is a rematch of the three-way battle. We only need to defeat 2 bosses, but we'll be taking... Yeah, unfortunately we'll have to defeat another former student.
Yeah... We have to go bully some people.
You can spare her, but it's not ideal. Because Sylvain can die.
We need Sylvain all the way up to the final map. So that's not an option that we would like to do.
So, remember the central hill, so just gonna send Claude there, and then... Yep.
Yeah, so we're sending Claude to get control of
Oh, we really needed that brave bow.
Yeah. Bernadetta drops a brave bow when you kill her.
We don't really need it. You can survive without it, but it's good for safety.
It's very good for safety, and we don't need the slightly used silver bow or some other item.
I'm going to use a battalion to stun these enemies, so Claude doesn't get hit as much.
Yeah. to note, we explicitly don't want to gambit Petra. That's because if we directly gambit her, the center platform gets set on fire. Sylvain's still around there, as it turns out. We would like for him to not die.
I had enough strength to slime Heaven Dimitri, and
Ooh.
Score can just use Fail Nord on the Edelgard from that space where I left him last turn. So there are things that can go wrong on that map.
Yeah, but it's kill two bosses.
What's my strategy?
We actually managed to get Byleth over by keeping Sylvain in the middle,
goodness.
which is...
I'm so glad my Lysithea is not cursed with low magic, like she has been in practice recently.
Yeah, so if Lysithia's magic is low, her warp range will be lower. That's what, 6, 7 tiles? I don't know how to math.
Yeah, that's very good magic.
Yeah, so you want at least 5 tiles, so that's 20 magic or more.
So yeah, you need at least 20 magic. Again, she has like 60%, so like her auto levels will also give her like, and her base is 11. We need at least 12. So
And over 20 time skip.
yeah, so like, you're probably not in danger,
What's my strategy?
but it can happen. Like most things, it can happen. It's just fairly unlikely most of the time.
Alive.
Chapter ready.
It's changing
That's
all
not
of
good.
it, yeah. I'm cursed
Yeah.
this map. Like, this map is always cursed. So,
Yeah, because the thing is that we can't let enemy
What's
phase
my
come.
strategy?
We will just die.
Yeah, so Dimitri on that map has 20 additional void at full HP, which means the hit rates are a little they're a bit shaky, especially...
yeah. And even though my barb has high dex, like, she can still...
And it's also possible to have not enough speed to...
Oh,
to
yeah.
double
Well,
Dimitri.
barb could double him. Like, I had enough speed. So, it was just,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have enough strength, so it wasn't an issue. It's a one-shot.
Hey, yeah, so yeah, that's a thing.
So here I'm going to do a few ability changes.
Yeah, so
So I'm going
we've
to-
been building up closed bow rank this entire time so that we could get bow crit plus 10 from S bows. We may not have S bows by this chapter, but we're still going to make a slot for it because it will auto equip when we do get S bows. We don't need authority prowess on Claude because we don't use his gambits for damage that often, and like it's like +2 or +4 damage. You're gonna be fine. We also give Lysithea her HP, her +5 HP. That's gonna help
Well, chapter 21.
a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so this case, yeah, so we just need to defeat the boss on this map. If the boss escapes, you actually have to route the map, which is really bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's funny. I never let the boss escape.
Yeah. So we have to remove the Swordmaster on player phase with a silver bow. That's because we unequipped. We also unequipped close counter, which would let us counter on enemy phase. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you know, obviously we can't do much about that.
So we just picked up, from that Swordmaster I defeated in Chapter 18, we picked up an evasion ring, so that's 10 extra,
Yeah.
plus
So
10 avoid, so that reduces hit rates from around 30 to 40s to 20s to 30s, and because of 2RN, that's even more than 10% extra avoid.
the evasion ring alone is going to save Claude many times
Chapter
in
ready.
some of the later maps. We need it.
So I also bought Index Sword Fighters in that Chapter 18, so that has a gambit
Retribution.
called Retribution, which we'll be seeing in this chapter.
Yeah, so this is why we got Lysithea to A authority, so that she could equip this battalion. Retribution's effect as a gambit is in a... what is it? It's one tile from who you cast it on, or is it rectangle? I don't remember. It's one of them.
Rectangle, but Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a 2x3 rectangle
Yeah.
centered on the unit you put it on. All of your allied units in that area get the retribution effect, which lets them counterattack at any range. And I do mean any range. We're gonna use that, as it turns out.
So this is a defeat 2 bosses, so Death Knight and Hubert, who's Edelgard's vassal.
Yeah, Death Knight's in the center of the map. Okay, we can get to him pretty quickly. Hubert is really far away. However, Hubert has a spell called Meteor. By the way, as an enemy, he's a dirty cheater, but we won't get into that. He literally cannot get it if he's a player unit. But Meteor has 3 to 10 range. Now, you'll remember that I just said Retribution lets you counterattack at any range, regardless of your weapon or anything. So we're going to move... So when we before we danced Claude on this map, we actually traded Claude a training sword, which you'll think, oh, wait, hang on, we had that earlier. So with that training sword, we just counter Hubert on enemy phase, and we just one-round him, and it just conserves weapon uses.
It's because if you use a bow, you get a very, very big range hit penalty. Because of how bows work.
Yeah, so that's the other thing, which is in a lot of Fire Emblem games, as it turns out. If you use bow at greater range, usually they're less accurate. Very less accurate.
Yeah, so training sword has high accuracy and also not a bow, so...
Yeah, it's 100 hit, 90 hit is
I think
enough.
it's nearly guaranteed on...
Yeah, you'll go into one round Hubert.
What's my strategy?
Hello?
I'll crush them all.
Okay, so now we have to fight the final boss, Edelgard.
Yeah.
Sure, she's a
Final... Yeah. This is a map where we use warp again, so it's just warp, stride, dance. We literally just go, walk up, and
It's keys.
yeah, we just warp over the wall. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's worth noting that Claude has 9 base move or something to that effect, 8 or 9.
It's 8 base.
8 base, yeah, okay. So 8 and stride gives you +5, so that gets you 13. As it turns out, that's a lot of tiles. This is also part of why we use Claude for like the entirety of part 2. So yeah, we literally just walk up to Edelgard, find something that will one-round her. Brave Bow is usually a pretty good shoe-in.
Yeah, in my PB I accidentally used Silver Bow, but I had enough strength, so it didn't really matter.
I think I used Silver Bow too, but I think I also got away with it. Whoops.
Yeah,
But
you need at least like
Bravo is
39
fine.
strength, I think. 39, 40 strength.
Yeah, Bravo is usually your shoe-in. We still want to conserve uses on Failnaught for
So,
later.
This is why my 50 needs enough stat. So the total of HP plus resistance needs to be at least 38 for this map, because there's a map-wide attack on turn
What's
near
my
the
strategy?
end
ready.
that
Yeah.
hits everyone, and she needs enough
What's the plan?
defenses to survive it.
So
Let's
we're
make
going to
this
warp
quick.
Claude over a wall again. Shocking, I know.
I can't believe we're both
But-
doing it at the same time, maybe.
Also, yeah, we also affectionately call this map Dubstep map. You'll understand. Don't worry. I promise you will understand.
You'll
But yeah.
understand when it comes on to my side.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we're gonna warp Claude over. We're gonna we're just gonna waltz on over. Part of the reason we unequip close counter way back in chapter 18 or so, when we did all those ability swaps, is just so that we don't see lots of combat, because that takes time. You might see extra level ups that you don't need to see, stuff like that.
Also, border pure water for SFU as well. That's going to help us on this map as well.
Yeah. So
So that increases our resistance by 7.
Yeah, it increases by 7, but it decreases by 1 every turn, but we just use it at the right time so that we only need it for that 1 turn, so that fact doesn't matter. So, yeah, we have to warp Lysithea, warp Claude over. Lysithea has to live for the final chapter, so this is why we need her to be somewhat durable. Otherwise, so we actually used to let Lysithea die here because we didn't need her for her A-rank authority. We do kind of need that, so we need to just adjust a little bit. So yeah, we're going to move Claude to this door. We need to remove the Great Knight in front because he has the door key that we need to get in. We're just going to casually saunter over. We'll use a Pure Water on Lysithea once we open the door. And so the boss is going to use his big AoE attack. Lysithea survived, great. We have passed because any other unit would have issues trying to get through the 2 units that have literally just piled up in front of you. So yeah, we just kind of go through them and one around the boss with whatever means you deem necessary.
Also,
Usually a
here's
brave
the reason
code.
why it's called dubstep.
Let's
Ah,
make
yes.
this quick.
Very good. Alright, so Tasmania Jones is now moving on to the final map. So in this map, we have to kill the boss. Problem. The boss has plus 30 to every stat to his base stats. It lowers by 3 every time we remove one of the 10. I don't remember.
Elites.
Elites. That's the words we're using. Very good. So we kind of want to remove all of them. He's very hard to deal with otherwise.
The weak.
At this point, basically, we're going to send Claude over to the right side of the map. And we're going to have Byleth kind of vibe on the left side of the map. And everyone else is just going to do support to get them to those places. And then they're all going to kind of die. Sorry. They don't have to be alive.
Just so the time comes after Claude is finished speaking and after that Claude cutscene starts, end game cutscene starts. So I'll
Yeah,
tell you
after the
when.
mission complete and then Claude speaks and then the screen fades to black. That's when time is.
So we're going to be using our normal stride, and we're using retribution as well to so Claude can counter nearly all the bosses.
Yeah, so we're mostly going to be removing the elites with Claude. Byleth definitely plays a role in this chapter, though. We're going to park Byleth on that heal tile just to the up and the right. We need to get one of the elites off that tile first. So
Stolen Star on Claude. It's nearly always a one shot. But if you miss, it's really
bad.
Yeah.
uh,
And he can miss, so yeah, it's like an 80% displayed hit, something like that.
Yeah, we need to get. So then we Canto Claude up further. We're gonna dance him, and then we're gonna just shove him over to the right side.
Yeah, so we mainly cast Retribution to hit Lamine back because she has bolting.
Bolting, yeah. Which is similar to Meteor in that it's a 3 to 10 range weapon. We kind of want her to die. It's not strictly necessary, but it's very nice if she's gone for the next enemy phase.
Let's make this quick.
So yeah, at this point, Byleth's job is to get rid of Goneril, which
Much needed.
perfect, done.
Yeah, she needs to do it in the
certainly
first 2
helps.
turns. I missed! Fantastic, of course. Person who's behind is missing. Cool.
Yeah. That's
There we go.
just how it
I
do
have
be.
a backup though, fortunately, so...
Okay, great. Yeah, just...
No,
What's the plan?
City and Sylvain just died on.
Yeah, that happens.
And we're just gonna unequip Byleth since that heal
Yeah,
calculus.
Byleth's job is done.
What's my strategy?
So,
And you will end up killing enemies and getting excessive levels that you don't need.
also, we get a lot of the void up.
What?!
Stronghold style.
Are you kidding me?
Oh god, what now?
Okay, so now everyone's done. I just need to
I'm
install
gonna reset
Nemesis.
this actually. That's really unlucky.
Wow.
So what happened was Gonrail killed Barleth on the enemy phase. I don't know what happened.
Okay, so
Maybe a critical hit?
I defeated Nemesis.
Yeah.
So okay, so yeah,
So this is gonna be a yell on time.
time.
Wow.
Very nice.
Meanwhile, I just keep on getting unlucky.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fire
you pulled
Emblem-
it back pretty close after that, you know, stage 1 or 2 mess
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, like you were like within
Yeah.
spitting distance, really. So like
I caught up, but then, you know, both the beginning of the map and Gonrail said
Yeah.
no.
yeah.
Nah, you didn't get to finish.
Unless your Byleth is like actually not very tanky, like there's a chance she may have just got one shot without a crit, but
That could be it too, but then again, I think she got
who
crit.
knows? It's likely a crit. Like
What's the
your
point?
general rule of thumb is if your player character died on enemy phase and there's not many things attacking it, it's probably a crit.
And that
Right.
What's
Hopefully
my
Barth doesn't get crit again. That's actually never
that'd
happened to me before, so
that would be great.
Oh, yeah.
that was shocking. Okay, good. She didn't die. Wow.
Beautiful.
more
So yeah.
And then I killed me. This is like perfect so far. Why couldn't this happen the first time?
It would be too easy.
There's
But yeah, so Nemesis is like even after we remove his stat boost, like he's no pushover. Like if your strength stat is like particularly low as well,
There you
you have to do some real finagling. I don't think that's going to be an issue though. But we'll find out.
I mean, this is like going well now, unlike
Okay.
the previous time.
It's what you like to hear.
Yeah. I can't believe Barth got crit there though. That's that's like shaking your head, worthy. Okay, some shields. Oh, well, I didn't get the kill. Okay, whoops. Oh well, no big deal. So mainly we want to kill the hero there so that we can bait Regan to move. Not sure why that guy did not die.
Oh well.
I can't.
Surely it won't come back to bite you.
I can't one-shot Nemesis, so that
Yeah,
would be
so-
cool if I could, but I don't have enough strength.
More
Okay, so this is standard boss killing fare. You're gonna skirt his range, and you're gonna because he has a Sword of the Creator as well. It's a slightly different one, but it's still 2 range. So we can force him to attack at 2 range by sitting on his
And
attack.
it's almost time for me.
Cool,
that
Time.
very nice.
So we had Tasmania Jones at 122.29 and AeonFrodo at 125.29.
Yeah. That was very uncharacteristic. That, but free on bar left. That I don't think that's ever happened to me or anyone, as far as I know. But might
I
happen.
would actually be interested to see if it's actually just a one shot, but we can worry about that later.
Tough
Yeah.
talk from the guy who's lived too long.
I can
Wait,
actually
fix
wait a minute.
that.
Hold on. I can actually hold on. We can
I
do
mean,
a quick
you
check
probably have a
now.
save. Yeah, you literally have a save. But yeah, so that's Fire Emblem Free Houses, the Verdant Wind Route.
Sorry, I cut the ending, but yeah, I'm curious.
And we got to see it on the other side. Just not hear it.
Yeah.
Look, you get used to not worrying about the ending. Because at that point, time stopped. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right, so any shout-outs that either one of you want to give out before we send it off to intermission?
So if you're interested in speedrunning this game, we have the Fire Emblem speedrunning Discord. We've got some route notes in there. You can find this through speedrun.com, or you can probably
Let's
DM
make this quick.
me or maybe one of the others if you're if you're interested.
At the ready.
We do have to update the notes slightly. They're a little bit out of date still, but
especially
that's okay.
especially this route.
More-
Just like watch my PB.
Huh?
It's
Yeah.
currently the fastest time.
But
so
What's the
we'll
plan?
get there in time. Like, if you follow what people do, you'll generally do the right things. So that's cool. Aside from that, I don't have any other particular plugs unless you two.
What's my strategy?
I'm sorry, I'm just checking this for a moment, Tasmania.
So just some other Fire Emblem mods. So there's Curving Master and Chorus who actually did a race at GDQ earlier this year. So they were responsible for quite a lot of the rating earlier on. So just recently, so the main changes to mainly the chapter race, no flames. So that was one of my ideas that I did put in, but most of the original route was from Curving Master and Chorus, or also quite fast.
Not peak
Also
crit me.
quite fast.
Sorry.
Crit you? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
17%, yeah.
17% crit. Wow. Okay.
Anyway,
There you
anyway, are you done with your shout? Sorry about that.
Yeah, I guess that's all from me.
Yeah, thanks to the Fire Emblem speedrunning community, Tasmania Jones pretty much made the route what it is today. So with not having Satef and having very minimal units and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and if you are interested in speedrunning Fire Emblem, or any Fire, not just this Fire Emblem, but any Fire Emblem game, you can join the Fire Emblem Discord, and there should be resources and stuff to, work for it all. Yeah, and you can always ask people questions. Definitely. So, yeah, that's it for me for now. I mean, I have a run later on, so I can just do my outs then. But yeah.
And I'll see you for that as well.
Yeah,
I'm your host
totally
then, too.
Yoko.
All right.
Okay, well, if everyone's done, feel free to take us.